So having spent most of my time on the West Coast during this whole pandemic thing, the hotel breakfasts have been absent. What I'm finding is out here in Florida, they're actually having them. So I snuck down first thing just so there wouldn't be a crowd and grabbed some food and some surprisingly decent coffee. That's how low my standards have fallen on this trip. Starting off the day with a quick shopping trip. Grab my mail, then time to go. Stop number 2. Okay, so it turns out I made an important oversight. The post office is not open on Monday because it's MLK Day. I don't know what I'm gonna do. This is a problem. I really didn't want to burn another day here. This is why I don't like mailing things when I can avoid it. So, post office is closed all day due to MLK Day. Obvious now that I think about it, but I didn't think about it in time. So my options are hang around another day in the hotel, hike back 5 miles to the RV park, stay there a night, hike 5 miles back here in the morning, and then hike another 20 plus to get to the next campsite. Or I guess I could hike forward today and then Uber or taxi back here to get my mail drop. But it looks like that's gonna be 40 or 50 bucks. So, at least for the moment, I think I'm just gonna have to extend another day. Damn it. Okay, let's try this again, shall we? Victory! On my way again, finally! Yeah, and a little bit of traffic. Should be on 720 soon. Hoping that'll be a little quieter. But it's gonna be a long day of road walking, which I can't freaking wait for! More smoke, but I don't care! Here is my detour around the latest dike closure at Lake O. Hopefully it'll be relatively quiet. I'm gonna be on a lot more than 4 miles, so it's gonna be at least 20 to get to my camp on the other side of Moorhaven. Oh well. Yet another person who was smart enough to bike through Florida instead of try and walk it. So this is that pleasant time of morning when my feet don't hurt that much and I feel like I can do this all day. Check in about 7 hours and it'll be a little more painful.
Hello from Florida Trail, come out and see us.
You'll find us walking roads because that's basically what we do when we're not crawling through swamps, you know. Florida Trail!
Yes.
So Clewiston, mistakes were made. You know, I should know better at this point, but basically trail towns, if at all possible, you don't want to hit on a weekend. Problem is with weekends, hotels are significantly more expensive and a lot of things are closed. So the Holiday Inn Express, super friendly staff, nice place to stay. Wasn't a bad rate. I think I paid like 80 bucks a night, which compared with the Keys, that's great. But if you really want to zero in the area, honestly, Crooked Hook RV Park, 20 bucks if you're a thru hiker. They have laundry, they have a shower. Only downside is then you've got 4 miles or so into Clewiston, and already I'm trying to avoid staying in any more hotels for at least a week. So I've got about a 20-mile day to get through Moorhaven to something marked C5A campground. 20 miles on pavement, that's gonna hurt. I'm gonna do 23, 24 miles on pavement. Ugh. So it worked out. So you can see the dike around the lake is over there. Those things sticking up are them trying to repair it. Hopefully by the end of the day, I should be through this and back on the dike for the rest of the lake. I hope. Apologies for the high-res foot close-up, but I am just having a hell of a time on this trip. Seems like no matter what I keep trying, the road walks are just playing havoc with my feet. You can see I have an old blister here, and this is hurting again today. I'm just trying to kind of tape it and manage it and just hope my feet harden up over time. See, this is the problem with diving when I'm not on the trail. It grinds off all the blisters and then I have to go through this again. Well, that's an efficient way to walk your dog. Welcome to Moorhaven. I just got really good news from Sean up ahead of me. Apparently, instead of having to walk along 78, which is one of these really busy highways, I can get onto the Dike, not that far out of town. So that's exciting. Life's getting better. And I was so excited at the prospect of getting into Moorhaven and getting on the Dike that I neglected to notice that there was a canal in the way. So I have to backtrack and get up on this bridge. Well, if there's anybody that thought there wasn't enough walking through busy bridges with a lot of traffic, congratulations. I'm here for you. So this was my water stop today. Unfortunately, I had to get little bottles because there was nothing else. Kind of a bummer. I hate generating so much waste, but what you gonna do? So I'm just walking out of Moorhaven right now. Well, I'm in Moorhaven. Sean stayed here at the Rice Motel last night. For him, basic motel, not too bad. So if you need a cheap place, I think it was $60 a night. Me, I hear I can get back on the Dike, so I am going to go camp outside. I am sick of hotels for the moment. Just got waved through the crossing by the train. Okay, per my information from up the trail, the Dike is still blocked here due to construction, but if I just walk along the bottom here, I can get on it a little later. Well, that's a little better. If my feet weren't shot by the road. So if you're wondering where Lake O is, the water you can see is the rim canal, and then the lake is a ways beyond. I should get to see it up ahead in another 5 miles or so maybe. I'm up here around mile 122 of the Florida Trail, though with all the road walking I did today, I expect I've done a little bit extra. What you can see off in the distance is what's marked as the C5A campsite. So that's going to be home for the night. Sean, who I met further down the trail, got here earlier since he was staying in Moorhaven. I came all the way from Clewiston, so my feet are ready to stop. Once again, really pleasant during the day with no mosquitoes, and then right around sunset, the hordes emerged. And Sean and I basically both dove into our respective tents to hide because it ain't worth venturing out in this. So you see that plume in the distance, that's the SpaceX launch that just happened. Back on the trail, which for the next 30 miles is the Dike. I'm looking forward to getting around Lake O. I'll have a bit of a food carry for about 90 miles or so, I think, to get to this dude ranch up there, which also happens to be where I'm picking up my insulating jacket because, well, when I go to bed, it's so warm and humid I can barely get into my sleeping bag. By about 3 or 4 in the morning, it's chilly and I end up waking up and having to layer up. I'm in a 30-degree sleeping bag, which is nice and light, and it's been enough so far, but it's just close enough. I really wouldn't mind having my jacket. So I camped at C5A last night around Florida Trail mile 122. Had a good night. The traffic noise started a little early, but it's not that bad over on that corner. I'd originally thought I might get to the end of the Dike walk today, but Gut Hooks has this really weird bug where if you're a little bit off trail, the mileage calculations are off. And I was stupidly looking at It's mileage calculations, not the actual markers. So I'll probably spend a night somewhere approaching Buckhead Ridge. I'll do a food resupply tomorrow in town, and then I'll see what the Kissimmee area has to offer. So it looks like facilities are going to be a little limited for a while. So I think I'm going to have to do about a mile off trail to get to a bathroom. And I'm still going to be short on water. I may end up actually filtering out of Lake O on this. So unfortunately, word from up ahead is the dike section around Lakeport is under construction and they're actively chasing people off. So there's no option to walk around it like I was able to do back there. So I'm just going to have to walk this road through Lakeport. Unfortunately, apparently there's no walking around the perimeter of this one. So I found a place to stop for lunch, which is the only good thing about going through town. My feet are just killing me. I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. So I'm wearing my rain jacket because I drank about a gallon of iced tea at that lunch stop. And so now I'm really chilled. It's not really cold out here, but you know. Per the ladies that run that Lakeside Bistro, I can get back on the dike by walking this side road, and they've only just started working on it, so it's just a small bit of closure, and I should be able to walk the rest of it with this small detour. So, sounds better than listening to traffic. Worth a shot. Okay, looks like this is going to work. Assuming nobody comes chasing me down out of nowhere. So it's 3:30. Normally I'd be hiking for another, 2 hours or so, but my feet are killing me today, so I'm just going to pull over here. I'm pretty far from the road, so it's quiet. I've got a place to set up the tent. It's all good. Get back to it tomorrow. When I'm not walking, it doesn't seem to hurt, so my only problem is that I'm walking all the time. Hoping that my feet do a little better in the morning. Jen ordered some insoles up to the Dude Ranch. That's going to be the next stop once I get into the Kissimmee area. So who knows? I really can't tell what's causing this at the moment. Just me and the cows out here this morning. So this worked well enough last night. Well, I say last night, I pulled over at 3:30 to give my feet a rest. They seem to be feeling a little better today, but I'll just see. My best guess right now is that the 20 plus mile days on pavement were just a bit too much and wrecked my feet, and I'm just paying for that. So I may try and stop after 15 miles again and see if I can't baby my feet through this last section, and then hopefully there is trail up in the Kissimmee area. So this is about a mile further from my camp. I didn't really want to camp here because I feared it might be loud. Often the machinery will activate throughout the night, but there are supposed to be power plugs, so I'm going to take the opportunity to charge my phone off that instead of my battery, just in case I need to stretch a bit here. This part would be really great if my feet weren't so wrecked. So despite stopping early yesterday, my left foot is still a mess and it's hurting quite a bit today. So I'm debating options. My plan was to resupply and then head up the Kissimmee River today. I may need to take a day or two off my feet though, which I hate doing, especially once I'm away from this lake and getting into what should be prettier terrain. But there's only so much I can do, especially if walking on this is just making it worse every day. Yet another example of just walking in a flat straight line as far as I can see. That water tower is the next town. But it doesn't seem to be getting any closer. Ah, joys. Okay, so I decided to come into Okeechobee, grabbing some things for dinner. Got a pizza delivered. And hopefully I have a better idea what I'm going to do in the morning. So I decided I'm going to stay at least one more night. My foot does look a little better, but I don't want to get back out there and just have the same issue. Hopefully I'll get going tomorrow, but I'm going to kind of play it by ear. I was limping so bad, I kind of now have an issue with the muscle on the bottom of my calf because the universe just loves me hiking and all. I decided to switch hotels since the Flamingo was decent, but a little bit run down, so I have about 2 hours I just have to kill until the Best Western next to it will check me in. And unfortunately, the only parks are a couple of miles away, so I'm just out behind a supermarket in some partial shade next to a runoff ditch, just trying to kill time. So once again, people are awesome. I'm hanging out here under a tree, and a guy came by and asked if I was okay, and then asked if I wanted a beer. So cheers.